Hey, Julie Roussel here. Hey, welcome to Wacky Wednesday. We never know what the topic's going to be. But hey, thanks for joining in, whether you are popping in live right now or you are catching on the replay. I'm glad that you could make it. So, hey, if I happen to miss your name when you are popping in, leave me a hey, and I've forgotten what I was going to say today, but no worries. um, Normally, I do have an opening and I do know what I'm doing. But apparently I'm having one of those moments. But like I said, hey, welcome. Thank you for joining, and I'm glad that you could make it. As always, with any of my videos, if you hear something that you find helpful, something that resonates with you, would you please leave a reaction, drop a comment anytime, or ask questions in the thread. Share the video with anyone you think it might help, and PM me if you have questions or want to hear more. I'm always happy to share the things that I'm learning, and I hope that they help you. So hey, I see a few joining in. Hello, Virginia. Nice to see you, lady. It's been a while. I see a few more joining in, but it's not showing me who you are yet. I'm sorry to say. But in case I happen to miss you when you pop in, would you please do me a favor and leave me a hey or a shout, whether it's just an emoji hand or a gift to let me know that you popped in. For most of you, if you've seen my videos before, you know that I have to have notes, and my camera is set landscape style. Hey, Candy, nice to see you, lady. Hey, it's been a while. We gotta catch up. It's been too long. But like I say, if you've ever seen my videos, you know my notes and camera are set to the left, and I do tend to peek at them because as what just happened a few minutes ago, I totally lost my train of thought. My mind went blank, and that usually happens. And if you leave me a hey, a lot of times that distracts me enough to relax, so I appreciate it. But hey, let me ask the question for the night as more and more are joining in. Hey, Mike, nice to see you. Hey, John. Hey, Carrie. I'm glad you guys could make it. But let me ask the question for the night, and as more pop in, I'll welcome you as you go. But if you found a valuable piece of jewelry, would you return it or try to find the owner? Now, would you please leave that comment or a GIF in the thread for me? Yes, no, maybe. I'd appreciate that. But tonight, it's Wacky Wednesday, and it's always wacky because you never know what the topic's going to be. But tonight, I had a totally different story planned and all ready to go, and I was prepared. But last night, something really major happened, and I thought you might find this story pretty valuable, and I wanted to share it with you. And I hope that it resonates as strongly with you as it did with me. So last night, I put on my favorite pendant and necklace. I'm not wearing it right now. There's a reason for that. But I was headed to Panera for a PTO meeting. And I was wearing my normal, here it is, my normal heart-shaped pendant. It's a blue sapphire. I don't know how well you can see it. There we go. But I'm normally wearing it. And it's my favorite. I absolutely love it. And someone reminded me that it was very similar to the heart of the ocean in Titanic. And although it is similar, I agree with them. That's not why I love it. It was a gift from my husband after the boys were born. So let me show it to you. Okay, so this is the pendant itself, and it sits on this necklace. So when the meeting had concluded, I returned home immediately, and I discovered that my pendant was missing. And just the necklace, just part of my necklace was hanging, right out of my turtleneck right here. And I'll be honest, I was frantic. I was freaking out. I was, checking, patting myself down, my purse, my car, the house. Could I have dropped it somewhere on the floor? And I couldn't find it. So I backtracked to Panera on the really slim hope of finding it. And I called the manager to see if he would let me stop back and look, because they were closing soon. And I was hoping to get there before they closed in case, my pendant was turning up. And I also called my friend Amy on the way and asked her if she'd seen me wearing it, just 15 minutes earlier. And she said yes, she'd seen me wearing it at the meeting just before leaving. So when I arrived at Panera, and I was searching the parking lot, I backtracked my exact route, and I do mean step-by-step exact route. And where I was sitting, you know, the floor, anywhere around in the area that I'd walked, you know, anything within like a 30-foot radius. Because I thought, well, what if something had happened? It might have fallen and bounced or got kicked. And there were 3 workers there, all 3 young girls, Megan, Julia, and Grace. And they pretty much dropped everything just to help me search for my pendant, especially Megan, you know, out of nowhere. I mean, they were busy closing up for the night, and I didn't know them and had never met them, but yet they were willing to help me. Hey, Dan, nice to see you. Welcome to family. Hey, say hey to them for me. And those 3 girls, they could see how upset I was because I was crying. I was panicked. You know, I was freaking out. I was pretty much a hot mess, for lack of a better word. And I was afraid that I would never find it. I mean, it's priceless to me. I wear it all the time. You know, I was really afraid I'd never find it again. And it was irreplaceable. So, you know, on our final check and sweep, one of the girls, Grace, was reaching underneath one of the lower hanging counters, you know, towards the floor. And she just reached out and found it underneath and said, oh, hey, is this it? And I was celebrating, you know, I'm thrilled. I'm practically jumping and dancing. And you really don't want to see me dancing. But I was pretty much jumping and celebrating. And I hugged each one of the girls and thanked them for their help. I mean, they'd taken, you know, about 20 to 30 minutes of their time when they were at work and closing, and they were supposed to be closing up. And I'm guessing they might have arrived home later than normal because they spent their time helping me. I'm truly grateful for their help. So I also, on my way out, I thanked the manager for allowing me to search for that and allowing the girls to help me look for it. I hugged each one and thanked them because they would not accept a reward. So I returned home jubilant, you know, definitely a lot calmer than when I left. Yeah. And, you know, I checked my necklace and I figured out that there's a reason that my pendant had fallen off. I don't know how well you can see here, but right on the clasp, if you've ever worn a necklace before, if you can see the clasp right now, it appears to be broken. It will stay if you press it back, but if you move in any way, it opens and it doesn't spring back and close like it's supposed to. And that's why the pendant had fallen off, because the clasp was no longer functioning properly. And it seems like an awful situation, absolutely. But I'm kind of glad, and it was a blessing in disguise. I didn't see it at the time, but in hindsight, and the reason I felt it was a blessing in disguise was because it happened in a really small spot, in a really small area. And because it happened there and not while I was at work at the elementary school, because if my pendant had fallen off while I was at school, at the elementary school, I would have never found it. It would have been lost forever. You know? Oh, hey, Janet. Hey, lady. Say hi to Autumn and Shane for me. I'm glad you could make it. But it would have been gone forever and never found. But it wasn't. Now, thanks to the kindness and willingness of just 3 strangers to help out another stranger they'd never met before. So if you heard something that resonates with you or you found value, would you please leave a reaction, drop a comment, ask questions, or even just say hey if you're popping in. Thanks, Janet. Hey back at everyone. It's good to see you, lady. I'm glad you're enjoying the new place. As I was saying, ask questions or drop a comment in the thread anytime you're just popping in to say hey. Thanks. Share the video with anyone you think it might help, or just to remind people that kindness still exists and we need to lend each other a helping hand. PM me if you want to hear more ways to add kindness to your life. So, do small acts of kindness count? Should they be reserved, you know, for the ones we love or for everybody? Yes and yes. Yes, I believe kindness counts. And the kindness that we put out there on a daily basis, it creates a much greater impact than we could ever imagine. And everyone needs a little bit of kindness. That simple, easy gift could mean the world to someone else. In my case, my pen did. So choose kindness and be willing to help others, not just for the holiday season, in all seasons. Thank you, Megan, Grace, Julia, and Rob, the manager, for helping